Good evening, everyone. Yes, good evening. I have three guests here, guest speaker, and my name is Espie Agbayani from Pogo Banker. But I've been talking about retiring style for the last 7 years, 8 years, and this was because in 2010, I decided to go to the Philippines, and at first I thought that I'm going to retire there. So I brought all my stuff and I walked that path of how to pack my stuff, put it in a storage, and send it to the Philippines, go through the customs, and set up my furniture there. So anyway, what happened was that I did not end up going back there permanently, but I was going back and forth to the Philippines. And during that time, I had this experience of seeing all the different people who are retiring in the airport, you know, in the destinations where I go for excursions. I was going with, I was forming different reunions with my high school, college friends, and old neighbors. And I see how people have been living the life of a retiree or a would-be retiree, whoever was preparing for retiree. So that's the reason why I decided to go with Retiring Style and talk about how to prepare yourself when it's time for you to retire. And as a realtor for 32 years and have done also mortgage, I have seen how the properties that you bought 30 years ago can be a leverage for you to retire in style, or with dignity, or with living the life of your dream at the last third of your life. So here with me right now, I would like to talk tonight about reverse mortgage as a purchase. So reverse mortgage as a purchase is something that you can do. So if, let's say, you have a house that you bought 25 years ago and you have a lot of equity, but because something happened to your retirement in 2008 and you are not able to retire with enough cash, then you can leverage on the equity of your home. So right here I have Darren. Darren has been doing reverse mortgage for the last, how many years now?
Almost 20 years.
Almost 20 years. So reverse mortgage, unlike other people are thinking that the impression that we have is it's been here only for a short time, maybe 10, 15 years. And we have all different kinds of connotations on what reverse mortgage is. So Darren is going to be talking and explaining about how you can leverage on your equity when it's time for you to retire. So this is when you have a house and you're 62 years old or over and you have quite a bit of equity in your house. So Darren?
Yes.
Would you like to talk about this?
Absolutely. Thank you, Espie.
Okay, you're welcome.
So my name is Darren Firestone and I am a reverse mortgage specialist. Reverse mortgage, usually people who have heard the term reverse mortgage have a negative connotation to the product, and there's a reason for that. And the reason is very specific with this age group, this baby boomer age group. So reverse mortgage has been around for almost 100 years. It started in Europe and it came to the US, and in the 30s, 40s, 50s, up to the 80s, it wasn't a very good program. It did help people, but it wasn't good for the estate or for the children. And what happened was an insurance company would come to a homeowner and give them a lump sum of money, and in exchange, the homeowner would give the title to the home to the insurance company. So what would happen is when the homeowner passed away, the children or the heirs of that homeowner would not be able to receive any equity or any proceeds or any appreciation that the house earned. So those children have a very negative feeling on reverse mortgages. Those children are the baby boomers of today. So that's why when you talk to the people, they have a very negative feeling towards reverse mortgages. What's happened is quite a bit over the last years. In 1988, what people don't know is that the product was completely reformed by Ronald Reagan. He set into law that reverse mortgages are going to be governed, and all the guidelines are going to be set forth by the Federal Housing Authority, FHA. Completely changed the product. At the very root of it was homeowners do not give up title to their home anymore. So the biggest misconception today is that when you have a reverse mortgage, you are giving up the title to your home. And that was eliminated in 1988 under Ronald Reagan, and that is true today. So a lot of the negative connotation carries over from previous to 1988. And what people don't understand is that the product has been changed significantly today. There's been many reiterations over the years to today, and the product is very beneficial to the homeowner. There is no negatives to the product anymore, and it could be a tremendous financial tool in retirement. One thing that happened that was very significant in 2008, that was buried in the news because of the recession that we had in 2008, was the Federal Housing Authority, FHA, released a product called HECM for Purchase. HECM stands for Home Equity Conversion Mortgage. And what they did was basically they took the rules of reverse mortgage and they are now allowing it since 2008 to be applied towards the purchase of a home. So in short, it's called H for P, or HECM for Purchase. And now anybody at the age of 62 is able to purchase a home with a reverse mortgage, meaning instead of selling a home, taking the proceeds from that home and putting an all-cash purchase on a smaller or right-size home, now you can purchase that right-size home with a reverse mortgage or with a HECM. And instead of putting 100% down, based on your age, you are able to put roughly 50% down. So we could use the example of somebody who sells, let's say, $1 million or $1.5 million home, and the net proceeds, let's say, are $1 million. And they want to find a house for, let's say, $700,000. Instead of putting $700,000 on the new home, what they can do now is put roughly $350,000 down, or have a reverse mortgage with that new home, take the money that they saved and supplement the retirement account, or invest it, or maybe buy other property in a different state or a different country. So it's a very powerful tool. With this program then, in their new house that they obtained a HECM, they would not have a mortgage payment for the rest of their lives. The interest each month will be added on to the loan balance. Because it's 50% and because of appreciation, it is very unlikely that the balance will ever surpass the value of the home. All of the equity in that home belongs to the homeowner. They retain title, they can hold title in a trust or as an individual. And should they move out of the home at some point or sell or relocate, all they would need to do is pay off the balance, and whatever equity remaining would belong to them. If they passed away, the children would have up to 6 months with another 6-month extension to either sell, refinance, or pay off the HECM balance. All the remaining equity, again, would remain to the children. So again, that is a brief explanation of reverse mortgages and HECM for Purchase. Again, there is many facets to it, and there's lots to talk about.
So that's in brief. We will talk a little bit more about it later. If you have any questions, Darren is going to be available.
Yes.
Okay?
Thank you, Espie.
All right, thank you. So at this point, I would like to introduce Jerry. Jerry Palon has been in the insurance business for a long time and also a financial advisor. And right now, what he does is teach people on how to leverage on using extra equity on their home that they can get, and what are the options that you can use. So he will give us a little, maybe a couple of ideas of what you can do with that money that you get. Okay, take it, Jerry.
Thank you so much, Espie, for giving me this opportunity. Aside from doing the annuity or the retirement solutions, I'm also into insurance and also investment. So I take care of the three aspects of the financial plans of the individual. Now, talking about baby boomers, actually these are really one of our major target markets. And continuing to what Darren mentioned about retiring in style, also your theme, that's also my main focus now on helping baby boomers to make sure that they retire comfortably and they also retire securely. Because we all know for a fact, because of the past experiences in the bubble, the mortgage bubble, and a lot of people lost their retirement income or money or funds intended for their retirement. So now they're nearing retirement. They're either short of retirement money or no retirement at all, but they have purchased a home wherein they invested and now it has appreciated in value and there is equity. Now, this is an opportunity for them to be able to raise cash, like what Espie and Darren mentioned. You can take a substantial cash from your equity, go reverse mortgage, and use a portion of that funds that you got. When you sold your first property and you intend to buy a new property now, which is lower in value. Not necessarily lower in value, but you can only probably invest or make a down payment 50% of the actual value. So you're not really committing the entire proceeds of your sale of your first house. So now what's gonna happen? What do you do with the rest of the money? Now you have a couple of options. Just like what Espie suggested, you can either purchase another house, which again, on the other hand, will tie you up on a fixed asset which is not really readily liquid. But you can also put your investments in a secure investment. Now, since you're already in the 62 above or 65, you want a more secured, guaranteed income, right? So we in the insurance business, we actually offer annuity products. They vary in various kinds, and depending on the suitability of the client's needs and the client's profile. So we analyze that as part of the job of financial advisor, is to really make sure that we understand very well the profile of the client and what are their objectives. Are they willing to invest their money in the next 7 years without touching it, or they need it immediately? So we have different kinds of solutions for those particular needs. Now, for example, a person who is about to retire and age 65 or 67, and they wanted to get an immediate income, we have an immediate annuity that we offer. Okay? Or if they have more time and they want to invest a little bit more and accumulate their investment, they can go into a deferred annuity. So that also grows and has step up. And once if the client already decides to retire and start getting their income for life, then there's already a guaranteed amount that they will get on a fixed monthly basis without worrying about what will happen to the market. There's a guaranteed portion. Once you go into enroll to an annuity, whatever you have accumulated for the past 7 years or 10 years, now you multiply that with say about 5.5 or 6% per year. So if you have already accumulated $500,000 in terms of accumulated, what we call it, protected value for retirement, that's the amount of income, 30,000 a year, you will be getting for the rest of your life. Even if you live 100 years old, the company will still continue to pay you the amount that is guaranteed as an income, but not as a lump sum amount. It's a guaranteed income for life. So now, if you are husband and wife, couple, you can still enroll on a joint annuitization or joint annuity, wherein the surviving spouse can continue whatever you are receiving as an income. Mind you, that option is only part of the entire retirement package that you really need to prepare for your older years, no? Actually, I have 4 main sources to share with you where your retirement money will come from. Number 1 would be, of course, we have Social Security. I assume since you're working, you have 401k, and you built your retirement nest egg over time, that you have something to get from the government. Okay, so that's a totally different topic, how you maximize your Social Security benefits, but that's one source. Okay, Social Security is a government program. Secondly, retirement plans. Now, if you have a company and you work there for 30 years, no?
That's your pension.
That's your pension.
Yeah.
Okay, pension and 401k or 403b is your retirement plan from the company you work with. Social Security is different because you're paying your monthly contributions. Then you're entitled after 40 contribution quarters. That's equivalent to about 10 years of working in the private sector for 401k or in the government sector for 403b. But as long as you have that, if you continue to contribute to your Social Security, then you get that benefit. Then the third one would be, third is the personal assets. This is what we're talking about.
Yeah,
So
like the equity of your house or your rentals that you
or
have
your
sold.
cash savings in the bank.
Yes.
Right? Instead of putting your money in the bank, which only earns how much? 0.1% a year?
Yeah.
It's not even enough to cover the cost of inflation.
Right.
So you're actually losing money if you continue to put your hard-earned savings in the savings account. I'm not against in the banks, but there's another purpose for putting your money in the banks, for liquidity purposes, for emergency purposes. But the rest of the money, once you have addressed your liquidity needs for emergency purposes, then the excess money you invest it in a financial product that will serve your purpose, your objective, and will give you the guarantees that you need. You know, it's either in an annuity product or in an insurance product. You know, we can all discuss this in a one-on-one session. You know, I just don't recommend completely like a one product fits all. It depends on the situation.
So you have different options for,
we have different options
for individual or for couples.
Absolutely. Then the last option of sourcing retirement money is to work beyond 67 years old.
67, exactly.
And
Which a lot of
that
people
is
are
the
doing.
last resort that you wanted to do, because you don't want to spend the rest of your life working. But some people in America, the US, still have no option to retire that early or 67. They still need to work. That's why you can still see some people working in Costco or Walmart. You know, they're doing like odd jobs, not really that strenuous, and just to earn a living, and still earn some low-income benefits from the government.
Right.
But that's the sad part. I hope that early age, at an early age, people start already doing their planning.
Right.
That's the job of a financial advisor, to provide advice. That's
See,
what
well,
we do.
that is what a retirement style is all about, So, especially the baby boomers, right now, what we're saying is that it's the biggest generation that are retiring every day. We have like 10,000 people who are retiring every day here in the United States. There are some that have prepared themselves. There are some who are very lucky that they inherited quite a lot of money, and there are some who didn't. There's quite a bit of them who lost quite a bit of money on their equity or savings. during the 2008 financial downturn here. So Jerry has a very good product, you know, like that's insurance as an option that you have. Reverse mortgage is another way for you to leverage what you know, what you can do. But the most important thing is that when I say retire in style, it means that you prepare yourself once you get into that situation. Okay, there's many people who are 65 and over, and they are still, you know, strong. They are still very active, and they want to work. They love to work. They love to do what they want to do. Whatever they're doing right now, they love to do it. Or they want to live the last third of their life, the life of their dream. You know, usually we are stuck in our job, job, or whatever we're doing because we're trying to raise our kids. We're trying to make sure that we have a paycheck every month. Now, what you can do is you can prepare for the last third of your life and do different things. Some people like to do missions. They like to travel. Yeah. They like to retire some other places. Or they just want to have a good time and be with their grandkids. So if you retire where you can prepare yourself and leverage on the assets that you have right now, then you have more peace of mind and you're happier. So at this point, I would like to introduce our last guest, who is Eric. Commissioner Eric is he's my guest from the Philippine Consulate. He just actually moved here from Dubai, and he is with the Philippine Trade and Investment sector of the Philippine Consulate. Actually, what he also was before doing that was he was with the Philippine Retirement Authority. So he can give us a little information about possibilities of retiring internationally, particularly in the Philippines. So I'd like to introduce Eric. Let me fix the camera. Sure. So welcome, sir. This is Eric, and his wife Rowena is also here tonight. Rowena is actually, no, I'm sorry. Rowena is from the Philippine Trade and Investment Center. From the Philippine Consulate too, right? Yes. Okay. So let me see. Okay, take it away, Eric.
Okay, thank you, Espie, for having me, and also Jerry here. It's a long time collaborator here in the US when I first moved in. So, of course, retirement in the Philippines is an option for those who want to retire in style. A $1,500 pension here in the US probably would not be, your idea of retiring in style. But in the Philippines, it is already, you can really
live like a king.
Live like a king, exactly. That amount would afford someone to live comfortably in maybe a condominium unit in Metro Manila, if you do so opt to live in the urban setting. But of course, there's a lot of islands. We have 7,000 over islands in the Philippines that you can choose from to retire in. Maybe if you have enough money, you can even buy your own island in the Philippines to spend your retirement days in your own island. Anyway, we have this program at the Philippine Retirement Authority where we issue a special resident retirees visa. So the SRRV visa is a permanent visa. It allows a foreign retiree or a foreign national to stay indefinitely in the Philippines. So one does not have to live the Philippines for every 6 months, or you can stay indefinitely in the Philippines. You don't have to renew that visa; it's permanent. And you are exempted from the alien certificate of registration requirements by the Bureau of Immigration in the Philippines. So it affords a lot of benefits, and there are a number of ways to be eligible for that visa. Before, it was just a deposit, basically $50,000 deposit that one has to keep in the bank for a certain period. But that amount can be withdrawn.
You can use it for business?
Yes, you can use it for, actually you can use it for, right now it has been redesigned to be able to be withdrawn to use for purchase of a condominium unit, or maybe a long-term lease. If someone wants a piece of property, landed property, then they can withdraw that amount and use that for that property. The other option is to switch. I mean, after a certain period, if that retiree already has a property in the Philippines, then they can just show proof of that property, and instead of having the deposit in the bank, then they can withdraw that amount and then have that property as a deposit. But that's only one option. Depending on the age, between 35 years old to 50 years old, that's $50,000. But after 50 years old and above, the deposit goes down to $20,000. There's also an option where if the retiree can show proof of a pension fund, at least $1,500 every month, then no need for a deposit.
So if I have like a pension here that I'm receiving
Yes.
for 1,500 and every month it's being sent to me
Yes.
to the Philippines, that can qualify me?
Yes. So no need to have a deposit in that case.
Okay.
And $1,500, as I said earlier, goes a long way in the Philippines. It would be enough, I think, for to live comfortably in the Philippines. We are working, of course, on other issues like medical portability. I think that is an important.
Yeah, the
Medicare. We have indications that it's moving forward. Like there is, I think, one hospital in the Philippines that is already accredited by Medicare, but for reimbursement, I think, on a non-reimbursement basis. But we do have a lot of medical facilities, world-class medical facilities in the Philippines. The best, nurses and even doctors here in North America are actually Filipino.
And they're setting up their offices there. Some of them are doing that.
Yes. Actually, my mom, she had a heart bypass, before, and actually the doctor who operated on her is US-based doctor, Filipino. From time to time, travels to the Philippines and does the heart bypass because he's a very well-known specialist in that area. So we have the talent, we have the facilities. Retirees need not to worry about medical care in the Philippines.
And what about the expats? Yeah.
Those who wish to still work, actually that visa, the SRR visa, still allows expats to work, or even retirees to work there. If they want to do their own business, it would still allow them to do their own business. They can set up their own business. They can be employed as well if they still want to continue working. And the Philippines has always ranked high in surveys in terms of retirement destination and also in terms of expat living. A lot of expats vote for the Philippines as an ideal place to be assigned or to work. Yes.
Sorry, I know you are very much involved in the retirement. Uh, and also the Filipino Chamber, American Chamber of Commerce, I know,
Oh,
they're
yes.
working
That's
on
right.
like projects for senior retirement living
Mm.
in the Philippines, because we really want the Philippines to be a destination for retirement. And I think other ASEAN nations are also promoting their own respective countries. But we want to compete in that market by providing the right infrastructure and the right services in preparation for the time that we have a complete portability from Medicare. I know it's already being being discussed a couple of years ago in the U.S. Congress to approve that bill. Hopefully, we can have some positive results along the line and completely gives confidence to all our retirees from the U.S. not to think twice
Yeah.
of going to the Philippines to spend the retirement money and enjoy. Right? They can purchase these properties available or even a senior living retirement homes, either purchase or rent, like a room. They're independent. No? They don't need caregivers yet. Although there's another facility that can be set up there, like a nursing facility or assisted living, that will take care of the sick people who would like to retire.
Yeah, well, actually, in the real estate side of it, my experience all these years that I've been going back and forth, there are already different kinds of ways that they are living there, you know. I have a friend who owns a resort in Batangas, and his resort has condominiums and townhouses, and it has, and so he sells the resort for living purpose. If you want to retire, then you can retire in the resort. Like Albaya Co-op is doing that with Ayala. So you can either stay there and live there permanently in a resort environment, so you don't really feel alone. You know, you see a lot of people. You mingle with the like-minded people who are also expats or who are also retirees from different countries. Or you can invest. You can also do some investment, or you can buy a franchise. There are several franchises now that are being offered, especially at the office of Commissioner Eric, that they are promoting right now, where when you want to go there, you don't have to guess as to what you want to do. And sometimes, you know, you think that you have to own a McDonald's, a Jollibee, or a Chowking to be able to sustain the lifestyle that you want. So even if it's just a smaller one, you know, like in the malls we have so many malls. People like to eat in the mall. They have little kiosks there. So you can start from kiosks to restaurants. You can own franchise in that manner, or even just I have a friend who owns a call center there. You know, so it can be that way. So people who are up to 75 years old, they are really active and they're still doing business. And so they enjoy going from one country to another, and then meanwhile they have business in the Philippines that's ongoing, and they have a condominium that they can always go to. It's not so expensive, it's paid in full, so they can always stay there when they are in the Philippines, or they can live back here in the United States, in California, with the kids, or you know, visiting their grandkids, going from one kid to another, you know, being do their apostolic job. Yeah.
Can I have an opportunity to plug in?
Yeah.
Also, our joint project with the Department of Trade and Industry. Aside from me doing my professional business on the insurance side, I'm very much involved in community work. Being the president of the Coalition of Filipino American Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, of course, yeah.
And we have this upcoming trade mission project actually.
Oh yes.
For the month of March of 2020.
I heard about that.
Yeah, in tie-up with DTI, Philippine Consulate, Department of Tourism, and all other agencies involved in promoting the tourism in the Philippines as a retirement destination. We're actually bringing 100 delegates from all over the U.S., and probably some delegates from Canada
Mhm.
to attend the Franchise Asia
Mhm.
convention, wherein they will be exposed to thousands of franchise companies offering affordable franchise
Mhm.
for their families in the Philippines, or even those who are retiring here, retiring and wanting to retire in the Philippines can invest in affordable franchise. You can actually own a small franchise business as low as $5,000.
Yeah.
Up to 250,000, whatever, how big
Mhm.
is the franchise business you want to set up. But what are the available businesses for franchise in the Philippines? Of course, the laundry service is there. Even a gas station as low as $10,000. They say
Mhm.
you can invest in a franchise, right?
What are top 5 hot investment now that people can dip
Invest.
into?
Mhm. Of course, there's food. Everybody needs to eat.
Yeah, like little restaurants or kiosks.
And kiosks, yeah. And then Filipinos like to eat maybe 5 times a day, right?
Yes, yes,
We have
exactly.
in-between snacks,
Yeah.
mid-morning snack,
Mhm.
mid-afternoon snacks, even midnight snacks.
Mhm.
So food is always a sure business in the
Mhm.
Philippines.
Mhm.
We have a very young population. Our median age is 23 years old.
Mhm.
So most of the Filipino population are working age.
The working age, yeah.
So they need fuel. No? They need
Mhm.
fuel for
A lot of them work 10, 12 hours a day.
exactly. And now with the boom of call centers in the
Yeah.
Philippines and business process outsourcing, actually restaurant businesses are operating 24/7 because before they have to close down at midnight, but because they don't have any customers anymore. But now with
Delivery.
call centers,
Mhm.
Delivery.
You
and
have
also
24-hour
delivery,
business, yeah.
so it's a 24-hour business now, and you mentioned delivery.
Like the Grubhub here, right?
Uh,
Grubhub.
convenience, yeah,
Yeah,
convenience
okay.
is now becoming a big business in the Philippines.
Uber
Mhm.
Eats.
So delivery of food, anything can be delivered now. If you
Mhm.
want to send a package across the city because of the traffic,
Yeah,
someone on a motorbike will pick it up
Exactly.
from your place and then bring it
Nice.
over across the city.
Yeah.
So if you have, and these are businesses that you can already franchise in the Philippines.
Yes.
No, so it's not only food. You have services, as I
LPG
mentioned,
gas station.
gas stations. You have spas, for example, and
Mhm.
saunas, and
Yeah.
beauty salons,
Right.
beauty parlors.
Mhm.
For men, you have barbershops. All of this can be franchised in the Philippines.
Like
Because
drugstores
you're-
as well, right? Drugstores which are just
even
selling
drugstores,
generics.
yeah, generic drugstores, or even over-the-counter drugs can be purchased in this 24-hour pharmacies. Everything actually can be franchised. The Philippines is, you will be surprised, but the Philippines is, I think, the top country in Southeast Asia at least, or even in Asia for that matter, for franchise business.
Yeah.
We have around 1,500 franchise businesses in the Philippines.
So it's easy for you to set up a business there and you don't lose your shirt.
Yes.
Okay.
It's basically, you can say fire and forget, or plug and play. You can just, and then Jerry and the COFAC has this interesting program that we're working also on next year, where there would be an arrangement where a loan facility maybe here in the US can be
Credit
arranged
union.
from credit unions or from other loan facilities, and for that loan amount can be transferred directly to the Philippines to the franchise.
Oh, you can fund some of your
Yes,
business
yes.
using
Because
US
these are-
money.
Yeah,
Yes.
these are affordable franchise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Concepts.
Okay.
And we can
Yeah.
loan from $10,000 to $15,000
Mhm.
Personal
credit
loans.
unions, yeah, personal loans.
Yeah.
And it can be wired directly to the franchisee, so that if the retiree intends to have this business run by his or her family member in the Philippines,
Mhm.
it won't be used for other purposes, right?
Right.
The funds can be directly sent to the franchise owner,
Mhm.
and then it can be bought for a franchise.
Or another option is for them to retire in the Philippines and
Yes.
run it themselves, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
run it themselves.
Yeah.
Using that money, that they sold from the
See,
second.
stories after stories I have heard, you know, I have been here in the United States since 1982, and I have met different people who have aspired going back to the Philippines. I have one friend of my mom who wanted to do import-export, and then that didn't happen because he could not find the right person there. So what he did was, unfortunately, he ended up investing $500,000 of his equity from Hillsborough, from his house, and invested it with a nephew in Cebu, and they set up this shrimp business. Unfortunately, because it is just family to family and there was no, you know, official way of doing this,
Yeah.
he lost all the money. Before he knew it, all the ponds that he thought was being built and that he's expecting so many shrimps to be sold at a certain point, when it was time for him to find out where the product is, then he found out that there's scam, you know. So the good thing that we're doing right now is that this is a meetup. I do this every month. Once a month, I will have some talks, or I have a meetup for, you know, eyeball to eyeball, where we can see each other and meet each other. And it is a very comfortable environment where we share with you different information. You know, it is important that you do your homework, that you find out, make a plan, make a plan of what you want to do. And right now, Americans, the most that you have for your asset that you can rely on is your house. You know, from 2008 to 2019, the houses went up. The value of your house has gone up so much. We thought that during the time that this big drop in our financial crisis in 2008, we thought that, you know, we won't be able to recover. So I think this is the best time. We are getting really at the peak, and we don't want to even think about when the downturn is. But if you are a baby boomer and you have an equity, a lot of equity in your home, don't think about anything, how you're going to bequeath that to your kids. Think about yourself first. And because you think about yourself first, then you will have a better quality life, a more peaceful life, the next third of your life, okay, to enjoy your family and your grandkids. So at this point, I would like to thank our guests. Darren has to leave for his kids' activity tonight. But thank you, Commissioner Eric, for being here. I appreciate it. I hope that we will be able to cultivate and make this an ongoing information that we can share to everyone.
Yeah.
And also, of course, to our president of the coalition of the Filipino-American Chamber of Commerce. That's how I met my friend here, Jerry. He's actually my padrino, my advisor now, because I just moved from Northern California to here in Southern California, and I'm starting to get to know more of the business environment here. And I want to continue on with my retiring style concept of sharing information on how you can really plan for the next third of your life, the last third of your life, to be a happy one and a more peaceful one. Thank you, and we'll see you again next month.